Here we go, 66 Ranchero. The back brakes, as we suspected. Excellent shape. New pads, all new springs and stuff. Looks like they reused the adjusters, but that's okay. We'll pull them out and re-lube them because I brake cleaned everything. The fronts, the pads are at least, 60%. Everything looks nice and clean. Everything's working. Seals look new. Those might look like they've been rebuilt. Kind of new. I did spray it with brake cleaner. It's like that all the way around. So got lucky there. There's no lips in these guys, so I think that they were recently looked at, serviced, whatever. The backs for sure. The fronts look like they just put some new pads on and everything else was golden. But at any rate, we're going to. I might paint those with barbecue paint. I don't know. We'll see. I got a few minutes. Maybe I'll wash my truck while I'm doing that. Lay those guys out. Put some black on them. Maybe hit them with a sandblaster and then put some black on them. Just so that they look better. Anyway, I'm happy with the brakes. We might still upgrade to the dual caliper. I mean, to the dual master cylinder. But I don't know if we have time for that. Anyway, I thought I'd let you guys know where we're at on this guy. And then I am going to take this emergency brake out because it's just dangling. So I'm going to disconnect that, I believe. And that way it won't have a path of liquid inside there. And then I'll put some rubber. They didn't have the rubber caps on. I think I got some air extra, so I'll put those little rubber caps on because there were spiders all up in there. I don't like spiders. I spent a half hour vacuuming spiders and, making a rust pile. Yeah, oh, let me show you some. This thing's, she's a little rusty, so yeah, frame rail on this side, it's not so bad. It's got some rust and it's starting to come through. That's the floorboard, that's kind of topical. But this side, that's the frame rail and the box. I thought I vacuumed all that out, but yeah, that's a little bit, we're gonna have to put some structure back in there. But anyway, thought you liked seeing that. We'll put some structure back in there before we go on the road with it. Maybe get some 2x4 tubing and lay in there, or we might have to plate it a little bit at a time. We'll see. But yeah, there we go. All right, these were brand new. Got them replaced. We hit this. I'm sorry, I got them cleaned up. Hit this with sandpaper to clean up the edges so it won't bind up from the rust. Same thing here, you can see. Just sanded it down, made it a little bit nicer. All of the drums are painted with the barbecue paint, so high heat. It is flat though, it's not shiny. I tried to polish this wheel, but it didn't work out so well. Messed up my buffer, or just messed up that buffering wheel. But I think we will end up trying to polish those, but they need a little bit of love first. Can't just polish them. Anyway, I'm gonna throw it back together and put it on the ground. All right, we're working on the Ranchero today. 66, Don? 66. All right, so we're gonna try and go through the ignition and dump some fuel down the carburetor, make sure everything's right, and see if it'll run. We'll do that in a minute, but I wanted to jack it up and show a few things so we can get the gas tank drained. But this is funny because we just pulled it in here and then jacking it up. That's a pile of rust, and it's actually frame rail from over here. So we got a little bit, yeah, that's the bolt that holds the rear leaf spring in. We got a little bit of rust repair to take care of. We will take care of it. It's supposed to look like that. I think it's going to be like 2x4 steel, but we'll get it. We'll bring her back to life. Very leaky under here. We power washed the engine so we could work on it without getting filthy, but the bottom needs some power washing, so we might get that cleaned up here soon. Anyway, let's get some fuel emptied out of this big old flat tank because it looks like it's got about an 80-gallon tank in it. It's a big one. And we'll get her started. All right, we used some air to pressurize the tank. Got it draining. The nice thing is we know that the pickup isn't clogged because it is just naturally flowing. Once we got it started, we didn't have to suck on it. We started doing the pumpy thing, but that was taking forever. And I just got a junction between those two guys there. And it's just draining out. So we're almost full of 5 gallons. I think it's got about 8 in it if the fuel gauge is right. And then we'll swap that guy out, keep doing it until she won't suck no more, and then we'll put some fresh gas in it. Right there. Totally forgot to get the first start, but dumped a little this in there. It started up with the fuel, the new fuel from the fuel system. I checked the transmission fluid real quick. It was low, so I put some in it, and it's actually idling. Unbelievable. It would be it's just rare. Actually started up and runs good. I haven't checked the timing yet. I'm fixing to do that, and I'll check the fluid again once it has time to go around, but it's actually idling all by itself. We did drain the fuel tank, I think you saw that, and put new fuel in it, so this is what we get. I think that is either from me spilling stuff or pumping raw fuel, the old fuel over everything. Anyway, pretty cool. It's running really good. We just checked the alternator. Low on transmission fluid, it's not going back and forth. I don't have any here. We'll go to the store and get some. But it's running, it's idling really good. Smooth as can be. Timing's at 12 degrees right now at idle, which is perfect. Like I said, the alternator's charging. We don't know if the thermostat's cycling, but no fan shroud and a flex fan, so maybe it won't cool right, but who knows? It's very impressive. It sat for a while and now it's running again. So we'll get the transmission filled up and see if she goes down the road. Never fails to impress. So we did drain 8 gallons out of the fuel tank, and it said half. We put 5 back in and slightly above a quarter. So that seems to be working. The heat gauge is also working. This additional gauge down here somebody put in is, it looks like 32 or so PSI at idle, oil pressure. I don't know if the fan, aftermarket radio, but I don't know if the fan works. Wipers want to work. Oh. That was the windshield wiper sprayer. Right. It's up there somewhere. It still works. It ain't got no fluid in it, but yeah. No, it's just, it's super good. It's super good. Very happy. Very happy. Good looking ride. Sounds good too. All right, we got some transmission fluid in it. Choke does not work, so we'll have to do some carburetor work. We got her started up and warmed up. Oh, windshield wipers are working. Hey, that's just some more electrical coming around. So go ahead and try reverse again. We had some fluid in it. Oh yeah, she goes backwards. All right. Woo! I guess I better take the, hold on a second.
Brakes are shit.
They're just, I just didn't adjust them. You want to go, try to go forward? Is that drive?
No, it's
All the way down low?
yeah.
Uh-oh, well. Doggone it. Looks like we're pulling a transmission.
It's
all right, you're gonna have to probably go back up the hill, back up as much as you can up the hill, and then coast in. Or actually, let's do this. We'll have to move your truck, and then we'll back it up the hill and coast it forward, and then I can back it up. And there's a band that's loose, I think. I'm pretty sure that's what's wrong with it. All right, got her up on the lift. We're pulling the pan off to see if that band is bad. So we'll have to pull out the valve body there. The fluid's all brand new, so it doesn't matter that it's clean. It's leaking from here for sure. You can see it's clean underneath. So we're gonna have to do something there. But I almost cleaned it before we started. It's full of clutch material. I'm hoping that that's the band. Either out of adjustment or the servo isn't kicking in and out. So we'll check those things. We'll try and do a quick and dirty repair just to get so she runs and drives. But I think he's gonna need a transmission rebuild, but we'll see. I don't know if it's impossible for you to see that, but the material is gone off of there. It is just, it's razor thin, if not scratched through. Might be easier to see from this side. Yeah, you can't even see it. And this particular model, you can't get the band out, either one of them. This is the one we wanted to get out, but can't get it out, so we have to pull the transmission. Yeah, it looks like we're doing a transmission rebuild. No big deal. Hopefully everything's within spec. We don't have to replace any hard parts, but we'll see. All right, got the kick down disconnected. Here, shift lever. Then the kick down. I'm not sure exactly where it came from, but yeah. Oh, back here. Sorry, right here. Boop. Yeah, see there? Little angle right there. Kick down. Disconnected. Both these guys disconnected. Transmission lines. Torque converter bolts out. Inspection cover off. Starter out. So tomorrow we'll pull the rear mount bolts out and the bell housing bolts, and this thing should fall right out. It looks like there's enough space between the exhaust to get it out, so we'll find out and let you know. All right, we got the transmission out and cleaned it up. It was a mess, so we're getting ready to tear it apart. We got a bunch of the parts cleaned up already. This still needs to be cleaned. I don't know what happened to my cleaning person. He just stopped. Got this guy cleaned up, and then I just put some aluminum paint on it, and then this is metal etching. We're going to paint it black because I don't think we're going to get the transmission in tonight, so go ahead and do it upright. And that's where we're at. Waha Tache. Alright, got the pan all cleaned up, and then we painted it. Cross member, I got to flip it and paint it. I painted this last night, so it's dry, but we need to paint that. Got it disassembled. Got this cleaned up last night pretty good. I got to replace the bushing. And then this we got cleaned up, but I might do it again. We'll see. It's still a little dirty. Do a little bit more cleaning today, and then start to change out clutches and plates, and put her back together. That's the goal, anyhow. All right, let's get her done. All right, got the case all cleaned out. These are separated. I just put these on to protect the insides. I'm just going to do some paint on this thing. Same thing here. I used the metal etching primer on this because it's going to go black, but it's just on for coverage. Got this guy prepped. Those things painted black. These pieces over here, something happened with this. It checked. I'm going to clean it up one time with some sandpaper, maybe tonight or tomorrow, and get it repainted. This guy turned out beautiful. That guy turned out pretty damn good. Pretty darn good, sorry. And then we're starting on the front pump. So we got to do the seal here. I mean, sorry, the bushing and the seal. We're not going to do a new front pump. It doesn't look like it was wore. I did put the new bushing and seal in here, hence the tape. Sorry, bushing and seal and tape. And yeah, I think that's about where we're at. So once we get the pump, seal, and bushing replaced, we'll put it back together with the new gasket, and then start going through the packs one at a time, cleaning stuff up and bolting it back in where it goes, and it should be redneck rebuild. All right, got a bunch of stuff bolted on. Replaced a bunch of O-rings and hard parts and seals and all that. All this is put back together, looking pretty good. It went back together as it was expected to. We had a big leak from here, so I think that's part of the fluid problem, but I'm going to put that seal back in. I just painted this thing because details. Here's the problem. This is a 10 spring clutch solenoid, and you can see the springs are all messed up, but this one and this one are missing some pieces. You can see them. They're just done. We gotta find one of those. Thing is, this is an early one, so they went from 10 spring to I think 8 or 6, and then down to 1, and eliminated this problem. So we got a couple calls out, see if we can find one of these. Other than that, everything else is assembled. Front pumps rebuilt. Seals, these guys is assembled. I just need to soak it. You soak the clutches for a while, a couple hours, 15 minutes. I don't know. You soak them. That's all I know. Oh, my part's cleaned up. I'm not going to touch this valve body because it was moving fine. If I have a problem, I can pull it off pretty easily and put the new gaskets and bearings and balls and stuff in there. But it shouldn't have a problem unless it's got some guck in it, in which case we'll have to pull it out. Anyway, that's where we're at. It's going to be a minute before I find this part, I think. So maybe it'll be next weekend before she goes forward and backwards. But that's where we are. So we'll have to see how it works. Well, that's that. Thanks for watching. See you on the next one.